I just can't not be German about this. I love efficient shit. I don't want to go the long way. If there's a straight line that I can go, I will take it. And this is a direct straight line to transformation. Some people leave a toxic workplace building something bigger than they have ever expected to be possible, while others spend years, I'm not kidding you, years trying to rebuild their confidence, still feeling broken and horrible inside. And no matter which one you are, I want to tell you the difference is not intelligence, it's not how fast you leave, it's not resilience in and of itself. It is definitely not a better resume or different skills. It's one single decision on a level that you might not have considered yet that makes all the difference. And today I want to talk about this decision and why it is so impactful together with you. Hi, welcome to the Corporate Warriors podcast. My name is Fela Rosa. I'm so glad you're here. If you like the podcast, make sure to like and subscribe or send it to somebody that might benefit from it right now. So there's a problem. There's a problem with your problem, okay? And it is this. Your toxic boss right now is not your biggest problem anymore. And if your ego is now and your inner critic are like, no, click away. Hold on a second. It's gonna be meaningful, okay? So just relax. Sit down, listen. Your toxic boss is not your biggest problem anymore. Your biggest risk right now, the biggest danger for you, your career, yourself, your well-being, is that you start to actually become that version of yourself that your toxic boss trained you to become, what they tried to shape you into. And becoming that version is your biggest risk. I know it sounds a little bit complex, but stick with me a second. Look, this toxic boss, consciously or not, they started to manipulate your self-perception, right? Yeah, you are in overthinking, you're in hypervigilance because you're literally in survival mode. Perhaps you're starting to increase your perfectionism because you know if something bad happens, they will use it against you. You might be scanning every room, right? It has to do with this survival mode as well, replaying the conversations, trying to make things work, and really feeling worse and worse each time because, as you know, since you're here on my channel, they have specific techniques and tactics in place where you have lose-lose scenarios. So no matter what you do, it's going to be wrong. And your toxic boss indirectly makes you feel like it's a you problem, like you are not good enough, like you are not fast enough or smart enough or efficient enough, right? So just imagine they're creating this avatar of you. This is literally the narrative that they're giving out to other people. This avatar of you that is less confident, that is less self-aware, that is less smart, that is less, knowledgeable. And that's a problem. Especially if you stick around for so long without having strategies at hand that protect you from assimilating this identity. Can you hear me? And this is literally the moment where your lifeline splits into two. Or in other words, there's two different groups of high performers and they deal very differently with this manipulation, right? Both of you might be here right now listening to my words, but still the split is happening. There's group A, okay? They leave. They get a new job. On paper, everything looks better, right? But mentally, they never leave. They never stop believing the lies that the toxic boss indirectly told about them. So they still feel small, even though they know in interviews I need to look good and present myself confident, they don't feel it. They still feel more like the version that this toxic boss created versus their true self. So every little mistake, like your reticular activating system, your filter in your version right now is set in a way that whatever happens, even in the new workplace, that is in alignment with this old version, this sad, unsuccessful version of you, let's call it like that. Whenever you see something happening, let's say you do a mistake, which is human, everybody does, your brain is going, see, you're not good. See, you're stupid. See, you're not good enough. So you stay small and you keep on not trusting yourself, which is why you don't feel the same way like before that workplace. And you come to me and say, it's been 5 years and I still feel horrible. That is possible because you assimilated the version of yourself that this toxic boss shaped. So you still, in a way, kept on outsourcing who you are. And now there's also this group B that we haven't talked about just yet. And they went through the same shit. Let's call it what it is. They went through the same toxic boss experience, but something changed in them. So it's not just that consciously they understand politics and know what's going on. Sometimes both groups do, but they learn things and tools. So they rebuild themselves. They stop taking that manipulation personally because they know any other person that is as good as me would have been detected as a threat and would have gone down the same spiral. So they know now tools how to calm the nervous system. And because they calm the nervous system, their nervous system now trusts them again to stay calm, because the nervous system knows that it is safe being calm, right? So now they show up differently. They might be in the same position because both kind of, the one faked the confidence in the interview and the other one was really confident in the interview. They might be in a similar situation, in similar position, but feeling very differently. When you're not in survival mode versus being in survival mode, let me be blunt, your life is better. And ironically, those people that manage to get through and out in a certain way, they often do become stronger after. Why is that? It's because they look back and they be like, this was insane. This was absolutely nuts. This was not professional, yada, yada, yada. But I came out of that strong, which means I feel even stronger now. Because if I overcame that kind of shit, I can overcome anything. Versus the other group that says, shit, now I do have this great job, but if it ever happened again, oh my God, I'm not sure I could handle it. If it ever happened again, I would fully crumble. If it happens again, I'll give up. Well, that's the energy that you bring into your workspace, into every single decision that you make. And this also stays with you in your free time, by the way. So this is really not easy. It's really hard. So look, on social media, we talk a lot about confidence. And I used to think the same thing. I used to think that confidence was the thing that created the transformation so that we do the confidence tools and then everything is fine, right? But I don't think that anymore because I know better now. And I know that it's about identity. Every transformation needs to be happening on an identity level. And the confidence follows the identity that you assimilate, the identity that you take on. This is why you say, well, the people that are, they don't wait until they're ready and they go first and they learn in the meantime. It's not that they're more confident, but they have the identity, this version of themselves that they really took on 100% that says, I don't know how yet, but I don't need to know it now. I will figure it out. And that's real confidence. And I tell you one thing, this identity that rebuilds confidence and comes out stronger, it's the same identity that knows on a deep, deep level, I can decide to be this identity. And I can decide that this chapter with this terrible toxic boss will become the foundation of my new, more resilient identity, because resilience is only built in difficult moments. So if you still think it would be great to have a nice career and thrive in my life, you need to be more resilient, because life throws things at you every single day. And resilience is the only thing that will make sure you don't crumble every time, that you don't have to start from zero every time. And this resilience follows your decision to be that version that comes out stronger. I know we're not taught that these days. Slowly but steadily, it starts to be something people talk about. But it's decision first. Identities are created. And your identity, you can hand over that identity creation to your toxic boss, or you can actually take charge of it yourself right now. And that's also the difference. Look, if you have that identity already, then reading the additional book, scrolling through Instagram, you will naturally know what actually helps you right now versus what doesn't, and you can implement fast and move ahead. Versus if you are not having the identity, you can read as many self-help books as you like. It's not landing. It's not the same thing. This is why people, the same course, can have tremendously different impacts on two different groups of people. It's the same course. But one group decided that they will make it work and they will use all they can from that, adapt it, implement it, and benefit from it. Versus the others, they just outsource yet another time their transformation. So you outsource it from the toxic boss now to the therapist or coach? No, you are in the driver's seat if you like it or not. Only because you decide to not drive the car doesn't mean the car is not rolling. It's like you just handing that over doesn't take away the responsibility, because ultimately you're responsible for handing over. I'm getting a little bit passionate here, but look, it is really the truth. It is deep down, it's the truth. And I fully and completely understand when the ego is acting up and it's like, this is all bullshit. If it were that easy, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, because changing things at their core is actually not that easy, but it's so effective and so efficient. And I just can't not be German about this. I love efficient shit. I don't want to go the long way. If there's a straight line that I can go, I will take it. And this is a direct straight line to transformation. And there's no other way. I mean, how do you want to come out stronger? You have to come out as a new version of yourself. Otherwise, you won't come out stronger. Otherwise, the risk of it happening again is actually there because you're the same person and the next toxic boss is going to come, because we know that in hierarchies, the higher up you go, the more toxic and power hungry people are there, because they love hierarchies more than the good-hearted leaders, unfortunately, right? So yes, there's this probability, and the only way to actually really protect yourself is to make a transformation on an identity level. And the good thing is this, it's you shaping that identity. Also, sometimes people, I think, go get it completely backwards. I don't even know if that's a conspiracy theory, but it's like, being that version doesn't mean you don't care. Being that version doesn't mean, oh, actually, no, I don't want to have a well-paid job. No, you create that identity, you create that version. You deserve to have like your 6 figures or multiple 6 figures job if you're a true high performer, if you live in a country where that's possible. Yes, you decide that. And you can still keep your heart open. It is the identity that you shape, that you become. It's not about giving up. It's quite the opposite. And look, I talk to you from experience. If you've listened to my podcast, you know I was crying every single day. I was losing my self-confidence. I felt beaten up and beaten down, and I was probably depressed. I didn't get diagnosed, but looking back, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so I was fully losing myself, and I was handing over much of the narrative to a person that should never get the responsibility to handle narratives over other people's self-confidence, self-image. But I was doing all of that. This is why I'm doing this now. This is literally why I'm doing this right now. Okay, so I know that this is a hard pill to swallow, but the good thing is, it is just your ego that tells you that it's a hard pill to swallow, because once you are on that journey, that's when things get finally, ultimately so much better. And then you realize that's actually easier than living according to somebody else's story. Do you get that? It's the illusion that the transformation is hard that keeps you where it's actually way harder. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane once you think about it. Once you understand it on a deeper level, it's like, oh my freaking God. So all I do on social media, explaining, talking even about narcissism, by the way, it's not about diagnosing anybody. It's understanding how people can behave. So we understand it's got nothing to do with us as a human, but it is still our responsibility to make the decision to become that other version and to follow the paths of people that made similar decisions before. The only person that can give you advice is the person that actually made the shift and made the transformation. Other people are just hypothetically speaking about concepts, but we need to bring it down into 3D, into your everyday life. This is where the transformation actually unfolds. Whew, do you hear me? Like, I don't know. Is that too complicated? Drop me in the comments if you have any kind of questions, please, because we need to be on the same page here. So look, out of all of that, those are many different pieces of the puzzle, and the grain, the ultimate first grain is kind of the identity, and everything else builds on top of that. And there's still work to be done. There's still structures. There's still things to be learned. There's still tools. Like, yes, it is not an overnight thing. Just like, grass doesn't grow overnight. It takes, I don't know, weeks or days at least, but you're making a big transformation does take some time. Okay. And that's fine, because the moment that your system understands, oh, I'm on a good journey here. Oh, I feel safer every day. Oh, I feel better. I know how to navigate that now. Your confidence automatically, naturally grows. You don't have to force it anymore when you feel yourself on the right journey, when you're getting better and better each day, in a way that you regulate yourself differently, in a way you respond differently to whatever happens, in the way you shape your own reality. This is when confidence naturally returns to you, and self-trust as well, by the way. And I've helped so many people one-on-one, and I love one-on-one because you can go really, really deep, but what's missing there is the group, right? And sometimes people are nearly afraid to go back into group dynamics. But the thing is, in careers, we need groups. We need a network of people that can refer us or even hire us, perhaps if you're in the same lane, or, introduce us to new people. We need networks. We need networks. Toxic people have very often networks, and you don't. That's a problem. That's a competitive disadvantage. And also moving through it together makes you understand, look, I am normal. There's nothing wrong with me. But yes, hell yeah, let's get out of that stronger together. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what we need. And yeah, this is how we make sure that every week your confidence grows, your self-trust grows, your understanding of yourself and your identity grows, and you grow into that identity. That's surrounded by people that went through the same shit, or sometimes even worse shit. And you're like, you change your perspective around yourself and around what happened. And growing, building momentum together is so powerful. Okay. So this is what we're literally building in Toxic Boss Reset. It's the reset of your identity, and it's a reset of your career and honestly your life, because these profound changes in a positive direction, they always have ripple effects in all areas of our lives. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. So really, before I close this up, feel into it. Do you want to hand over your identity to your toxic boss? How you feel about yourself? Do you want to outsource that? How does it feel in your body or in your gut? Breathe into it. Imagine you outsourcing a responsibility, how you see yourself to a toxic person. Probably survival signals start to turn on, okay? And now imagine you taking that back from the toxic person, this energy of transformation, this energy of like, who could I be? Imagine you're taking that back from this toxic person. You're integrating that power again in your heart space and feel into it. How does that feel? Okay. And if that felt good, it means that you are ready. And if you're ready, click the link down below, sign up for the waitlist, and at least take a look at it. If that would be something that could inspire you to get out efficiently and come out stronger in a group, okay? I'm here. I would love to get to know you personally. And if not, then perhaps another time you decide on the right timeline for yourself. I'm just here opening the doors, opening a room for transformation, but it's up to you if you're ready to actually come out stronger, if you do want that, okay? If so, the wait list is easy. Just fill it out and you'll stay informed, or you can directly chat with me if you want to. I'm rooting for you. I hope to see you inside the group. See you next time.